one big question is, when should you start using comfort measures? And sometimes in the excitement of being in labor, recognizing that it is labor, people are anxious to get on with their comfort measures, doing their breathing, doing all kinds of positions and movements, and they're really not needed. And I've noticed some people that run out of all their comfort measures before they even get to the hospital. So we want to hold off on those for as long as we can and still be comfortable. So that's why we use distraction. Often you can be distracted from the contractions with some meaningful activities, as we just said. But then there's a time when the contractions will be strong enough that they will break in, they will interrupt you, and you'll find that you can't keep walking through or talking through or moving through the contractions without having to pause when the contraction is on. And that's your signal. That's your signal that says, okay, now it's time to start using our focused breathing, tension release, and the slow breathing that we've, I think we've already talked about, but it's just sort of in through the nose and out through the mouth, sighing your way through. That, the in-breath is a tension increasing breath, the out-breath is tension releasing breath. You focus on that, you focus on letting go of your shoulders, your brow, various parts of your body, to get through those contractions. So this is a way of dealing with the contractions before you go to the hospital. Now you might wonder, well, why shouldn't I just go to the hospital? If I'm in labor, why shouldn't I go? But there's a lot of evidence that really works against that. And most hospitals have a criteria for accepting you. And so when you arrive at the hospital, they want to check you, see what kind of progress you're making, see how the baby's doing. And if you haven't, if your cervix hasn't started to open, they may say you shouldn't be here now. And they would want you to go home and labor for a while until things have changed. That can be very disheartening for you. And some people even feel angry or hurt. But let's not go there. Let's not get to that point. Let's have you use those comfort measures at home until it's really clear with your 411 or 511 that we talked about before in another app. When those criteria have been met, that would be a good time to think about going on in. It also makes a lot of sense to call the labor and delivery unit before you go and describe what's going on and get some advice from the nurse who answers the phone. But the main thing is, if we get there too soon, we might not be able to stay. And that's hard to take.